Hello, everyone. My name is Sergio, and this is supposed to be a toy concept for my game concept, Repeat Dilemma. When I made the concept for the toy, I didn't realize I was going to be making an actual design, like an actual hands-on toy. So I'm not very good with my hands, and I didn't. Well, I guess I'll explain the toy for starters. The idea I had was a clock. Time plays an important role in the game Repeat Dilemma, and there's an actual item in the game called the Repeat Watch, uh, and its usage is very limited, and I don't want to explain too much exactly what it is, but I guess a big hint would be it involves it revolves around the idea of choice because making choices and repeat dilemma is a huge aspect of the game. So, designing a toy around that, I decided, well, I'll just the toy should be a makeshift repeat watch or repeat clock. And what the toy is supposed to be is like it's supposed to be like a build your own adventure book, but in the concept of a clock. Um, so what it would have been, and mind you, this is very rudimentary and very simplistic. Hopefully, the next iteration, I'll try to figure it out. But it's supposed to be basically the it plays. There's a story, and you follow the story along. Well, the story goes by frame. Uh, and the toy, I imagine the toy would have three buttons. Uh, One button would be you press the button and it rotates the story to the next frame. And then there are certain frames, and I marked it with a star where you would make a choice. And that choice you would have to pick. You have to pick what the character in the story would do next, and that affects the outcome of the rest of the story, much like the game in Repeat Dilemma. Unfortunately, I I couldn't think of. I can draw multiple frames and different pathways, but designing on how you make the clock transition to one particular pathway as opposed to another pathway. I imagine I'm gonna have to deal with some kind of gear mechanism on an actual toy. So for all intents and purposes in this story, I just made it. It's very, very basic. The character, and excuse my drawing, the character would, you have a character, you have to get past a toll booth, and at that point you'd have to make a choice. In my rough sketch concept, it would have been fight the guard, pay the guard. In this one, I just made it like if there was a choice to make the character like a grappling hook, then you just do a grappling hook. The character would just use the grappling hook, go over the wall, climb the wall, and then the rest of the story just progresses based on that choice. And the whole time you would just see it basically, it would just be rotating as such, right? That's the toy. I did not think I'd have to actually make that into reality, but this is what I picture. What I would picture is an actual metal clock. Well, maybe metal would be too much for a toy, but a plastic toy, and it's just a rotating choose your own adventure book. Um, and I not to say that this is how the repeat watch works in the actual game, but I think this is what I think this would have been an interesting toy concept. And as for being geared towards a specific type of player, I think because this toy revolves around making choices, I guess depending on the type of player you are, you'll make those choices. Naturally, I think repeat dilemma is geared towards players that are exploratory. But I imagine players that are more directors or storytellers would be more inclined to use this toy. But again, this is meant for this is a toy that's meant for all kinds of players. More players that enjoy storytelling. So I guess more for storytellers. On an exploratory, if you do want to get all the roots and see, like, you want to see like each individual ending every time you reset the watch. And that's another key feature that would have been is once you reach the end of the story, there would be ideally there'd be like a switch or a button, and it just starts the story from the beginning, and you can try again and see what the outcome you get next is. So again, very basic. I'm not too good with. I'm more of a software designer, not really so much hardware, physical, mechanical, but that's the concept. Hopefully, for the next iteration, I'll do something that actually rotates and maybe figure out how I can get multiple frames for a story. So, yep, that's the idea. Thank you.